What is self-hate? Rejection, disappointment, falling flat, dealing with consequences. We've all been in situations where we blame ourselves for missing the mark. We make self-hatred our friend because it's reliable. You can turn to it with any kind of declaration from I'm a disappointment, I'm worthless, I'm not competent, and the voice of self-hatred will always agree with a resounding yes. How does self-hate work? Self-hatred works in two parts, blame and shame. According to psychologists, when we are children, before we have an understanding of self versus other, we are particularly open and vulnerable to the input of those around us. We define our self-worth by how we are treated, and if we sense disappointment in others, we often circle it back to ourselves. For example, when I was younger, I remember disappointing my father by leaving my toys out. He had just come home from work and was tired and worn down from working all day. I didn't see the situation as a way for him to blow off steam. I didn't think that he was frustrated from work and that's why he gets so angry over my toys. I only saw it as a situation it caused. I blamed myself because I couldn't think of any other expectation. I felt shameful disappointing him and felt very sad. At a young age, every little problem has incredible weight because I didn't know any different. Disappointing him by not putting away my toys may have been the worst thing I could do. It wasn't until a couple of years ago that I realized I had kept this blame and shame cycle consistently working throughout my life. Disappointing my peers felt the same as the day I disappointed my father. There was no difference to me. I knew I had to make a change. There is a quote I enjoy by Martin Luther. Self-hatred is the ultimate form of degradation. I was slipped in my development by being consumed by self-hate. What does self-hate happen? When does it happen? When does self-hate happen and how can we actively avoid it? According to Anil Rufus, author of The Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself. We who hate ourselves came to hate ourselves in many different ways. For some, it wasn't the big stuff, guns and blood, the kind of trauma you can see. For others, it was little things, laughs, glances, words said or unsaid. Self-hate can creep up at any given time. It is consistently around us. We need to form a bulletproof solution to anticipate it because it's always around the corner. What framework can I follow? To annihilate self-hate, we must do the opposite. Fight back to self-love. I've simplified this process into 3 easy steps. Speak out your self-love. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself from time to time, whether it's in your car or alone in your house. Verbalize your self-love and what you like about yourself. It can be something as simple as, you got this. It's time we made those 3 words our new map passes. Number 2, map out the worst case scenario. The self-hate spiral rests on the unknown, making all of our fears a possibility in the moment. Map out what the worst case scenario can be. I often use words like, if this happens, then, and see how far I can go. Often I'm reminded that the actual worst case is much further than I originally thought. Number 3, dare to not care. When I'm experiencing self-hate, I often tell myself, When you get back from this 15-minute walk, this reading will no longer matter. Changing my environment does wonders, and often I find that my dare becomes true. I'd like to end with another great quote from the book Unworthy. Your self-loathing is a concept. None of this was ever about you. You only thought it was. We have the power to change our patterns of self-loathing. Thank you and take care of yourself.